What we're going to talk about now is beliefs about what you are. And you can see I've kind of been leading up to that. But just imagine the healing potential for beliefs about what you are, because people have some pretty cockamamie and limited and damaging beliefs about what they are and who they are. And the thing that I want you to think about here is that people talk about limiting beliefs. Well, name me a belief that isn't a limiting belief. You know, to me, that's a redundancy. In fact, in my mind, there's only one belief that I've ever heard that isn't a limiting belief. Anybody want to hazard a guess on what that is? Only one belief I've ever heard that isn't a limiting.
Being open to all beliefs.
Well, but as a belief.
I'm all I need.
I'm all I need, okay?
Or I have all I need.
Or have all I need, okay? So in that, well, okay, let me give it to you. And then I'll tell you why the others aren't. I mean, unless anybody else has one. And that is that you are limitless. Because all the other ones, the thing about beliefs that's so interesting is when you talk about I am this and I need this or I don't need this, is you get into the definitions of the words you're using. When you start talking about what I am, and I'll make that really clear here, but I mean that's a really good, that's going in the right direction. When you talk about I'm all that I need, you know, because anything else when you say God loves me, then you got this idea, okay, well that's a concept. Well, who is God? And is there any conditions, is there anything that God wouldn't love you for? Well, if you're Catholic, you know, God stops loving you if you sin enough, I think, you know. You could be exiled from the religion, you know, and stuff. So it's like all these things have limits, and what we're looking at is getting rid of limitations. If you believe that life is good, if you believe that people are good and whole and positive, then it's the limitations that you're getting rid of for the possibilities. That's what you're getting rid of. You're getting rid of the obstacles, the bad habits, because what's left is positive and powerful and whole. So now let's talk about what that leaves you with. Who are you? Where are you? What you are not. You are not your identity. What is your identity? Your identity is all the thoughts and concepts and beliefs that you have about what you are. There's a whole bunch of ideas. They're all limiting. They all create, they all somehow make a possibility, they eliminate some possibilities, okay? So the identity, your identity is everything in your mind, in your head, that's this list of stuff that you believe and think that you are. But that isn't what you are. You are not your personal life history or your name. You're not your personal life history. If you were your personal life history, I can't get rid of your PTSD symptoms because you're just stuck with it because that's what your personal life history involves. So you're not your personal life history. That is not what you are. You are not your genealogy. You're not your ancestors. You're not your job, career, car, clothes, status, or possessions. That's not what you are. But people do identify with these things, but that's not what you are. If I had a Ferrari, I might be tempted to identify with it. You are not your country, nationality, home team, ethnic origin, or even your gender. Again, that's one of the far out ones that I was told, you really want to put that in there? Yeah, I want to put that in there because I'm all about keep an open mind about what's possible. You know, people who think that you aren't your gender, believe you're not your gender, first of all, we have a lot of limitations on what it means to be your gender in this culture, regardless of which gender you are. And there's actually more than two possibilities anymore in a lot of people's minds. But they're all very limiting. And also, you're going to deal with a lot of people who believe that we've been here before, that you're going through a cycle of lifetimes, that you have either reincarnation or surrounding lifetimes, as Seth likes to call it. And therefore, how can you be your gender? Because you've been this gender as much as you've been the other gender. And so why would you put a limitation on that? Is that really necessary? So I'm saying that you're not that stuff. So that takes away everything that I think you're not. So what are you? So here is what you are. These are the 9 principles of the Institute. What you are. You are a spirit walking around in a physical body. You are a spark of the creator of the universe. You are a child of God, a child of spirit. So once again, we're talking about possibilities. If these possibilities are your possibilities, you're probably a happier, healthier person than if they're not. We already talked about that. And if you don't believe me, go look in Lynn McTaggart's book. You are divine and immortal because what you're made of, your source is divine and immortal. You are that feeling of peace, connection, and energy at your center. I can give you an experience in which you will know this to be a fact. You are that feeling of peace, energy, and connection at your center. Come to the weekend training and I'll prove it to you. You are a starry, starry night, just like in that wonderful Hubble picture in the background. Okay? What you are. You are limitless. So there it is, the one belief that isn't limited.